is that adorable dog behind you?
Oh, this is Yoshi. Where'd he go?
Of course it is.
There he is.
So one of my good friends actually has a corgi named Yoshi as well.
Oh, cute. I love
Yep.
corgis.
Yes. I love how like the crossovers of corgis with other breeds just end up looking like corgi versions of those other breeds.
Oh, always. Corgis are dominant,
They
At
are.
least I want to say they are genetically or close to
Genetically,
it.
they appear to be. I have a cat around here somewhere, but I don't know where she went currently because she is a cat. Oh, there she is.
A cat.
Uh, she is stalking the birds that live in the tree outside our window.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, I know. They're pretty
This is her
interesting.
territory. What's her name?
All right. Kudaloon. She's named after a female Mongolian warrior who refused to get married unless her suitor could out wrestle her.
I love her. That's
She lives up
fantastic.
to her name. She also plays fetch, which is adorable.
Mm, I love cats with like serious personality.
Yeah, she was a stray. She got rescued. It appears that at some point somebody tried to shoot her with a BB gun because she's got some pellets under her skin. They don't move. They seem to be
Oh
fine.
my
She doesn't really
god.
have any terribly large issues, but yeah, she's a good little kid. I'll bring her out here while I ask you questions. Hold
Oh,
on.
that sounds great.
Hi, kid.
Oh.
Hi, yes. I know you're excited to see me. Come over and hang out for a little while. I'll let you play with the laser later. She also sometimes let me hold her like a small baby.
Oh, I'm so
It's
jealous.
the absolute best thing.
Oh my god, look at her. She's a baby girl.
So
She's
she'll
got
probably just
cat
chill out
baby.
here and let me pet her for a little while.
Oh,
So you tell
she's
me what are you recording?
yes, I am. We're good.
Awesome, sweet. This is the prize content that Patreon viewers come to XF Academy for.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah.
Obviously. So tell me a little bit about. You mentioned that you've already got some stuff going on, and I promise I'll get to that specifically.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But first things first, just tell me a little bit about what you play, who you main, how much time
Yeah.
you spend playing, that kind of thing.
Sure. I play Street Fighter 5 and I main Vega and um I've been playing for about 2.5 years. This year I still played, but I was exploring other games and other genres and then got really back into it because, an opportunity like this will motivate anybody. So
Obviously.
it's been great. So I've been playing as of the last month because when I talked to Persia and she offered me the program back in like towards the end of August, then I started playing again regularly.
Okay.
So I was putting in, I would say at least like 2, 3 days a week. Some days it would be like an hour or two a day, and then other days it would be like 4 or 5. And
Okay.
there she went.
Yep.
um, and then apart from that, I do hit the gym like 3 days a week, so I'm very
Okay.
physically active. And for work, I'm a bartender, so I'm
Okay.
always on my
On your
feet.
feet.
Yeah, a lot of reaching, a lot
Mhm.
of, this,
Okay.
that, bending over a sink, or a
Okay.
well. So, yeah,
All right. What do you like to do at the gym to stay active? Mostly cardio, mostly lifting, mix of both.
mix of both.
Okay.
Which was a question I wanted to ask you
Sure.
because I hear mixed things all the time. A lot of people will tell you, like you want to pick a certain muscle group per day, but is
Mhm.
that if you go like 5 days a week or 6 days a week? Because I go three, so I go every other, and then I usually take Friday and Saturday off because those are my long shifts at work. So like,
Right.
there's no way I'm going to the gym at 5 a.m. Um, so usually when I go 3 days a week, I do cardio and lift and I hit every muscle group. And then I
Okay.
give myself a day to recover and I do it again. Like I went Sunday night and I went up in weight with squats.
Mhm.
So I usually would go tonight, but I'm gonna take tonight off because I'm still extremely sore. So
Okay.
I was gonna hit that tomorrow. But yeah, I
Perfect.
wanted to hear your opinion on that.
Sure. So that one is an it depends answer, and it depends
Yeah.
for several reasons. One, it depends on what your goals are. So
Hmm.
somebody who is looking to build strength or build muscle mass is probably going to focus a little bit differently than somebody just approaching it from their perspective of overall health or aesthetics.
Cool.
Uh, I'm guessing you're going more for overall health than for like raw
Yes.
power gains. Okay. So
Hmm.
then what you're
Yeah.
doing, doing the lift, doing the cardio plus full body as your split, totally fine. Absolutely makes sense. And for other people, different setups might make sense depending on their goals. But for your
Yeah.
specific goal of overall fitness and health, totally fine way to do it.
Perfect. So what I usually do, I stretch very diligently because I'm 31 and no one can afford to not stretch, but someone in their 30s definitely should stretch.
Yes,
Um,
we should
so
all
I,
stretch, but
everyone
yes,
should start.
especially
I
once
mean,
you hit our 30s.
oh, absolutely. Because when I was 25, there were days where I'd be like, no, I just want to go in and bust this out. So I wouldn't really stretch. I would warm down with a stretch, but I wouldn't stretch before, which is crazy. Somehow I never had any issues, but I'm very vigilant now about that. So I will stretch and then I usually roll a little bit. I'll use a roller, and I have one here at home.
Okay.
And and I always start with cardio, and I do like HIIT, so like higher interval training, where I will sprint at a either 9.5 to a 10 like mile per
Okay.
hour speed, and then I will slow it down to 3.5 and walk for like 30, 40 seconds until my heart rate drops enough that I can breathe, but I'm still in the fat burning zone of like 143-ish, and then I'll
Okay.
go right back up again and I'll alternate like every minute to 90 seconds.
Okay.
And I did that for about 8 minutes. I used to do it for 10 and
Okay.
I lost a lot of weight, which I'm very proud of, but I
Okay.
don't want to get any thinner. So like I love how I look now. I do not want to
Okay.
lose any more weight.
You
So
want to maintain.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So generally speaking, when it comes to maintaining, that's a matter as much of nutrition as losing weight would be.
Hmm.
Namely, you want to make sure that your calories in matches your calories out. So an easy, well, easy. One of the kind of baseline ways that you can check that is calculating the base rate at which you burn calories. So basically, how many calories you'd burn if you did absolutely nothing in a day. The metabolic processes of
Oh,
breathing and walking and that kind of thing.
right.
There are a
Okay.
whole bunch of different formulas you can use to calculate that. Most of them have like preset calculators available online if you want to use those.
Or like an
That
app.
can give you kind of a rough estimate if you use that to calculate kind of how much you burn at your basal metabolic rate, your base rate of burning,
Hmm.
plus the level of activity that you participate in. So you, for example, you've got what's clearly a highly active job,
Hmm.
and you participate in regular physical activity. So your total energy expenditure, your TDEE, is
Hmm.
probably going to be much higher than just your basal metabolic rate because the
Okay.
amount of calories your body needs to burn to lay there and do absolutely nothing is very different than the amount of calories it needs to burn for you to, bartend for 6 hours and, go through a full regular day.
Right, right. Gotcha. Um,
Um, Good.
I was going to ask you a quick question. Is this a myth? Do you burn about 70 calories an hour if you're on your feet for an hour straight, or is that a myth
That's another it depends one. It
based on the
depends on your current
person?
body mass.
Yeah.
It depends on your body mass and what it's composed of. So as a general rule, you'll burn more standing than sitting. You'll
Yeah.
burn more with muscle than you will with fat. You'll burn more moving than not. Other
Hmm.
than that, like specific numbers, it depends.
Right. So, like, I used to work in an office and I
Okay.
was horribly, horribly miserable. And they had, options where you could have a standing desk, but like you're kind of standing there, you're still stationary.
Right.
Whereas, at my job, you're constantly moving.
Right.
And some days you're breaking out into a sweat because there's just so much going on, there's so many other bodies around you, and you're moving really quickly, and you know, um, you're managing things, hand-eye coordination, do this, do that, put this away, grab this, blah blah blah. So yeah, I was curious about that.
Okay.
But yeah, probably around that, if not more, on a busy shift, or if I'm just standing around like cleaning something, it's gonna be a lot less, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, that makes sense then. You main Vega. I think you're actually my first Vega main
Oh yeah.
that I've treated ever.
Nobody means this character.
I know. Okay, I'm looking because like I keep in my head all of the various mains that I've treated because I try
Yeah.
and keep an eye out for like patterns of injury. So for like example with Smash, there's
Yeah.
definitely patterns of injury that exist among Fox players that don't exist among say like okay, there's only three of them, but among the Puff players. Puff's in the Smash.
Wow. I never even thought
Uh,
of that. That's so
yeah,
cool.
it's not quite as prevalent in something like Street Fighter, where
Right.
all of the characters are, fairly consistent in your APM.
Yeah.
But you are my first Vega player, so congrats on that.
Yay.
Um,
I love him. He's
I
horribly
am,
difficult to play, but I love him.
I'm almost ashamed of the fact that I'm a Cammy main because it like feels like
Oh,
playing on
don't be.
easy mode.
No,
But
don't be.
To be fair, I only started Street Fighter and Street Fighter 4.
That's still
Um,
cool. You have
yeah,
more experience than I do. I started with 5, and
nice.
Alex, my coach that I will actually get to meet with tomorrow, he's Cammy main. I mean, you probably know of him.
Right.
He's
Yeah, I do.
very good. Cammy's great. I mean, she's actually very similar to Vega. Her moves are, at least.
Mhm.
She's just 1,000 times better than he is, and
Yeah.
she has
See,
she
that's
has
why I feel
way
bad.
more
Like,
survival options in Street Fighter 5.
even if I knew almost nothing about Street Fighter 5,
Yeah.
I would probably have figured out that she's a good character by the fact that she can make me look marginally competent, which means that it must be a really good character.
Do not shit on yourself. I won't let you. Uh-uh.
I'm teasing. It's
Cammy's
okay.
cool, man. Cammy's
Yeah.
cool. And she has the
Uh,
ability to make you guess, and Vega
she
does
does.
too, but it's
And when in doubt, low heavy kick spam is the way to go.
that's absolutely true.
Um, all right. So, do you
Godlike fighter.
have any existing injury history that I should know about?
No, nothing. I don't have any injury.
Okay.
Just some sensitive parts of my body that, like, you know, they act up sometimes. It might also be like if we have like a nice cool week where the temperatures are very mild and the humidity's low, everything's great. And then as of late, in the last like 10 days or so, we've had this high humidity wave, and some of my joints are just so sensitive.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a swelling thing or like Sunday nights, I usually close, and that's about a 7 to 8 hour shift. And
Right.
I always go to the gym right when I'm done at like 2 a.m. So
Okay.
I always wear my compression socks on
Okay.
Sundays because
Smart. Very
that's my
smart.
longest pre-gym shift, and they help a lot. I actually need to get some more, but yeah, I have like my right ankle. It's like this right here,
Okay.
this front part. It'll feel really tight. So I'll try to stretch it, or I'll try to roll it. And if I pull my foot all
Like
the way
it.
down, there she is. It'll pop, which
Okay.
makes it feel better, but I'm sure it's not the right thing to do. Um, I don't
So
know what to do.
if doing that motion causes a release of pressure and decreases pain, it is fine.
Okay.
Same thing happens with my ankles, although my ankles are that way because I've broken my right ankle twice and sprained the two of them more times than I can actually count.
You're an
Um,
athlete,
yeah. So if
soccer.
you're standing for a prolonged period of time and you've got anything less than absolutely optimal support for your feet, then yeah, of course, over time that particular joint, which is load bearing, is going to become irritated. Um, so it's not surprise. One, good job in wearing compression socks. That is
Thank you.
absolutely the right thing to do.
I love them.
Um,
I love them.
and two, it is perfectly fine to make parts of our body pop and crack. This
Okay.
is fine. We did a whole podcast of, all right, we
And
didn't do
so
a whole
that's another
podcast.
myth we're debunking here,
Yes,
because
it is absolutely okay to crack your joints.
I
It's
only
it's
do it when I
basically
feel pressure,
yeah,
though.
it's
Yeah.
the sound that you hear. It's the formation of a nitrogen bubble within the joint space, and then basically things just moving around it a little bit, and that's the release of pressure that you're feeling. It's not you aren't moving ligaments and tendons around massively. You aren't shoving bones against each other. It's fine. There was actually so there's a type of award called the Ig Nobel, based off of the Nobel Awards,
Hmm.
and the Ig Nobels are. Uh, they're basically the kind of research that seems like it should be joke science, but somebody conducted it according to like actual scientific parameters.
And they
There
backed it
was a
up.
guy who won an Ig Nobel for 20 years, only cracking the knuckles on his left hand and his right hand, and taking periodic assessments of the degree of arthritis hand to hand. There
Right.
was no statistically significant difference from one hand to the other. You don't give yourself arthritis by cracking your knuckles.
That's beautiful. I love debunking those old wives' tales. Like, don't do
Yes.
that, you'll be arthritic. Um,
Ah, no, I won't. I'm gonna crack my knuckles in your face, Grandma.
yeah, it feels good.
Don't
It's
crack your knuckles in
gross.
Grandma's face. You won't like it.
No.
Uh,
My
all
grandma
right.
shakes her head. I'm like, all right, well. Um,
So, have you noticed any hand, wrist, neck, back, etc. pain while you're playing, or after
um,
work when you're on your shift for a long period of time?
yeah, like when I play, I think sometimes it depends on, probably if I'm slouching, because I am a chronic sloucher,
Okay.
I'll feel like a little bit of, soreness in my
Sure.
neck, or,
Okay.
lower back. Um, I also have like my left knee gets weird.
Okay.
I try to stretch that really well. And
Okay.
sometimes it hurts when I wake up, like yesterday it did, but I sleep in a weird position, and I think that might be why. Like I do like
Okay.
a can opener when I'm sleeping, where I have my left knee in, my
One
right
leg
leg
up, one leg down.
extended. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the left knee that gets painful?
Yeah, it just feels tender. Like yesterday, I just when I woke up, it was just sore. It hurt. So I stretched it a lot, rolled it, rolled my back,
Okay.
walked my dog, which, like, because I did a lot yesterday. I was like trying to get
Uh-huh.
my computer and everything ready to go. So
Got
I
it.
was sitting a lot. So I was like, okay, I hate sitting for too long. So I took him for a walk. It felt a little better. I stretched them out. But yeah, it gets this weird, like kind of just dull, what's the term? Like a numb, dull pain, you
Okay.
know. So nothing
Is it
crazy, just
is it
annoying.
in the front of your knee or in the back of your knee that you have that pain?
Front,
Okay. Is it above or below the kneecap?
it is
Or
like
kind
right
of
in the
like deep to the kneecap?
middle, like right in the middle, like right here.
Okay. And is
Yeah.
it deep or superficial?
Mm, I think it's deep because
Okay.
sometimes when if it's agitated, when I go up and down stairs, I can feel it like kind of
Okay.
jab at me.
Okay. Any radiation of numbness or tingling down towards your toes?
No,
Okay. Why is my gonna make noises? Let me stop that.
Mhm.
Okay. Does this pain usually come on right when you wake up, or does it come on after being on your feet for a while?
Uh, well, for yesterday, it was pretty much within the first 20 minutes that I was up. Like I got up, got in the shower, got out, and kind of noticed. I was like, okay, it's mad.
Okay.
I don't know why though. Maybe because I don't know, maybe it just got irritated because I had left it in that position all night when I was asleep and like had it bent. Um, Not sure.
What are some other times it's gotten painful? And oh my gosh, I just noticed the Vega
Oh
tattoo.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there he is. Baby's right here. Uh, Once in a while when I'm squatting, I'll feel it. Just a
Okay.
very mild, sharp pain in that knee. So usually, as of late, when I'm very, very adamant about stretching it, it's fine.
Okay.
Um, Once in a while, if I'm going up and down steps, I can feel it, and
What
that's
stretches make it
it.
feel better?
If I stand with my left leg completely straight and I use the wall for support,
Hamstring
forget what
stretch.
it's
Got
called.
it.
It's an old yoga move. It's called like a hood ornament or something.
Okay.
But I try to like because I'm going for uh the calf, the knee, and then I guess it's the quad, what the back of the thigh. And I go until it burns. Like I stretch till it like actually burns. Then I do the same thing with the other leg.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Two things. One, that's your
yeah,
hamstring, not your quad. Quad is in the front,
right.
hamstring's in the back.
Got it.
Two, don't stretch till it burns. Just stretch till it's like a nice stretchy feeling. You don't have to shove it so far that it hurts. You're not
Okay,
going to get
good.
any more benefit out of shoving it so far that it hurts.
Gotcha. Just
But
until it feels less tight, you're saying?
go until you feel a nice deep stretch, but
Okay.
don't go until it's like tingly and painful kind of stretch, if
Oh
that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
gotcha. Oh yeah.
Is it, let me think. Anything else I want to ask about that? No, I think that about covers it. Oh, do you notice after sitting for long periods of time, do you ever get that pain?
Yeah. hmm
Okay.
If I sit like if I'm playing a different game and I play it on my bigger on the TV and I sit on the couch, if I sit like cross-legged or I just kind of sit on the couch with my legs like folded, I'll start to feel it a little bit. But if I stretch them out, it's better.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Um, so that tells me a little bit more there. When you've been playing, how long do you play for? Like say you're gonna practice. How long are you
Mhm.
gonna play for before you take a break? If you take a break.
I'll take like a pee break here and there if I have to pee, but like a break, I can usually sit for like 2, 3 hours.
Okay.
Then there are days where I am just dropping inputs and I just feel like, okay, I'm not playing well today, so I'm
Right.
done, I'm gonna
Right.
cut it.
That's
Usually
smart.
yeah, I'm sometimes if I get mad and I get salty and it's usually because I'm mad at myself, that's when I'm like, okay, you know what? We're
I'm
not
gonna
doing
change it up.
anything productive. Exactly. Let's
Yep.
go do something else. So I would say
Okay.
up to like 2, 3 hours at a time.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll come back and play again later if I have someone to train with and I want to do something particular with somebody. But yeah, I would say at a time it wouldn't be more than 2 to 3 hours at most.
Okay. I definitely recommend trying. You can definitely still play for those 2 to 3 hours at a time,
hmm
but interspersing some breaks like every 45 to 60 minutes. One, that should help with the knee pain. Two, it should help with the posture thing, the slouching that you mentioned.
hmm To
Hi,
stand
Yoshi.
up. Walk around.
Exactly.
Hey, Bubba.
Um, you can hop up here, kitten. Or you can just curl up on that blanket over there. That's also fine. That's a thing you could do.
If he'd let me
Uh,
hold him, I would, but he hates that.
so I think what I'll work on for you then is a couple things. One is going to be just some quick and easy things that you can do during your breaks as like a potential mental slash physical reset. And
Nice.
then I'll do the thing some of these will also be things that you can use while you're bartending that you can like stretch on your feet real quick.
Ooh,
Uh,
that'd be great.
yes. There's lots of quick little things that you can do behind the counter to stretch easily.
Mhm.
And then I'll do the thing that we do for everybody at Exo Academy, which is designing your warm up, your break time, and your cool down program for tournaments. And that's supposed to be something that you're able to also do at home because it should feel comfortable and consistent. That is, by the time you're getting to a tournament, you shouldn't be having to think about it. It should be as natural and relaxed as your inputs. That way you're
That's
not
great.
spending mental energy and trying to figure out, okay, what's the thing that I do now? It's more just like, okay, I do this now.
Yeah.
Um, Especially
Yeah.
with my girls who lift, I try and build in some component of like a movement that you like doing for your strength training because I know for me at least, and for like, when I worked with Peachan and Romanova, that
Mhm. Mhm.
they really liked having as part of their warm up for gaming stuff being to do squats because squats just trigger the brain to go, I am fucking badass.
Yeah, they
I don't know
do.
if that works for you. If there's
Oh, it
ways that you like better, we can
absolutely
do that. All right,
does.
squats
Yeah.
make your brain go, I am badass. Got it.
Mhm. Oh, I love it.
That will be a part of it.
I was cheating. I was doing it on the Smith machine for a while because
Uh-huh.
I was really when I was younger, I had strained my back a couple times. Nothing serious, just enough that I was like, "Oh my God, like if I don't get my form down, I'm not doing this." And
Right.
then I finally felt comfortable enough that I went back to the real squat rack. So of course I had to take down the weight by half because if you're using a Smith machine, you ain't really balancing anything. You're not really squatting.
Correct.
So now that I'm back on the real squat rack, it feels real. It's good to be home.
Good.
And no, now I've got the form down. Like, and my husband
Excellent.
kind of like he'll keep an eye out, and if he sees me like leaning forward too much, like he'll be like hold it back. So
Okay.
that's helpful. I also want to throw in one last one, and this is the one
Sure.
that I it's not super painful. I just worry about it.
Okay.
A friend of mine who is a massage therapist told me to, as part of my new warm up and warm down stretch, I like will hold myself from bars and dangle for 30 seconds
Okay.
um, to stretch my back because right under my left shoulder blade it's some scar tissue, and I think a lot of it is based on what I do for a living too, but I only will ever feel it if I'm like doing like free weight bicep curls or if I'm doing like butterfly lifts, and sometimes I'll just feel a click and it doesn't
Is
hurt
there a
and it
click
doesn't burn.
underneath your shoulder blade
Yeah,
or okay.
yeah, right underneath my shoulder blade on the left. Doesn't burn, doesn't hurt, but as
Okay.
soon as I feel it, I'm like, okay, cool, we're done with that because
Okay.
I'm terrified. Once you feel burning, you might have done something serious there. So like I get scared and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put it down or I'll do like less weight, but
Okay.
continue to exercise.
Okay.
I'm wondering if maybe it's because I recently went up to with free weight curls, I'm doing 15 pounds,
Okay.
and with butterflies, I'm doing 12s.
Okay.
So, and I think so, I'm not. I was gonna ask you this. Sometimes, like maybe if I'm just kind of in a zone and I'm kind of just like going at it, if is it because maybe I am lowering too quickly, and maybe that's making it angry? Like,
That could be a part of it. Less that you're lowering it too quickly, and more that lowering it quickly could result in a form issue.
yeah.
There's two things that have you do. First one, I'm just gonna have you put your back to your camera and do this, just hands sliding up and down overhead, like you're making a W or like a snow angel. Snow
Mm-hmm.
angel's fine. Let me just see that.
Does the shirt interfere because it's
Sure, it's
black?
fine.
Okay, so you could see it. So we get without the chair. Okay, here we go.
Okay, and you said it's primarily on the right side, correct?
Left side.
Left side. Okay, do that
Yeah,
one more
yeah.
time.
Sure.
Okay. There's some stuff that I obviously can't tell without doing an in-person assessment.
Sure.
Uh, I didn't see anything like grossly weird about the movement of your GH joint, your glenohumeral joint here, but the
Okay.
shoulder joint is composed of three parts. It's the glenohumeral joint plus the acromioclavicular joint plus the scapulothoracic joint. I
Okay.
suspect that something's going on with your body's ability to control that scapulothoracic joint, which, like, the usual number one cause of that is weakness of the serratus anterior, which is the muscle that basically keeps the shoulder blades sliding on the rib cage like they're supposed to. Which is
Oh.
definitely something that those of us who tend towards bad posture, which I am a member of that group,
It's
have issues with. So, one, I'm going to give you some just like real simple exercises you can do for strengthening that muscle group.
that would be
Two,
great.
I'd suggest that when you're doing your butterfly lifts and your bicep curls in particular, focus on keeping your shoulder blades pinched back and together. And I don't mean like driving
Like
your
that.
shoulders back like that. It's more like the motion of uh, imagine there's a pencil on your spine and you're trying to pinch it together with your shoulder blades. Ultimately,
Okay.
it's like the stick your boobs out exercise. This is really what it
Okay.
is.
Gotcha.
Um,
So just
Doing
the
that
ever
just gives you a good
slightest
base.
correction.
Yeah,
Okay.
it gives you a good base to pull everything else off of. So
Hmm.
you're braced here as you're doing your bicep curls. Um, if that doesn't do anything whatsoever, or if that makes it worse, let me know between now and next week because I want to correct that in the moment if it's hurting more. But I will also make sure that I add in. I was going to give you some like quick and easy exercises you can do for postural correction, but I will make sure that I specifically add some things for serratus anterior control in there.
Thank you so
Of
much.
course, and you know, there's a whole bunch of things that can cause that. It's not just the possibility of weakness. It could be discoordination. It could be a trigger point. There's a whole bunch of things that could be going on.
Right.
But like without a hands-on assessment, I can't tell you which one it is. So I'm going to go for the one that happens to be it most commonly, which is serratus anterior. If that doesn't hit it, then we can narrow it down.
That used to be Peachan's Instagram handle.
Oh my God,
It was, and
really?
then she changed it to something like Peachan FGC
Uh-huh.
just for
Branding
uniform
consistency.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I
We,
never
she
knew
and
what
I
it
were
meant.
talking about our favorite muscles the other day. My favorite muscle is the sternocleidomastoid.
Bet. I don't know
Yeah,
which one
it's
that is.
okay. So
Here?
it is
Here?
this muscle right here.
Ooh.
But the reason that's my favorite is because it tells you exactly where it originates and inserts. It originates on your sternum and your clavicle, clido, and inserts onto the mastoid process right behind your ear. And the nerve that innervates it is the nerve to the sternocleidomastoid. It is the easiest muscle in the world to memorize.
Wow. And it's enormous then, obviously. If it goes all the way
It's
down this way.
it's from like here to here, yeah. So
Wow.
right there.
I'm gonna take real good care of it. That's cool. I didn't even think about that.
You
They're
baby
all
that SCM.
connected.
All right. So I've got some postural stuff for you to do. I've got some
Yes.
quick on the go stretches you can do while bartending, and then I've got your warm up break and cool down stuff for competition. If you think of any other questions between now and then, don't be afraid to hit me up. I'm more than happy to like add or subtract things as necessary.
Bro, you're the
And
best.
then we will plan to meet next Monday at 8:30 my time.
Yeah. Is it my time or your time?
I don't know. I thought it was
Oh
my time.
shit. Let me check.
Let's figure that out.
Let's see. On this it says well it says 8:30 p.m. So
What's
if
8:30 your
that's
time?
8:30 my time
Wait,
would
what zone are you? Sorry,
be
what time zone are you in? That's not helpful to anyone.
Eastern. So you
Oh,
would
you're also
be
Eastern?
yeah. Wait,
Oh,
where are
okay,
you?
great. I'm also
Where
Eastern. I'm near Baltimore.
I thought you were in California.
Now that's my coworker.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
All right,
I
sweet.
wow.
8:30
Awesome.
on both of our time zones.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
Uh one last question real quick.
Sure.
Should I go for compression socks like every day that I work? Do you think that might help?
Honestly, given how much you're on your feet, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
When I used to work at the hospital and I was on my feet 24/7, never got to sit down, I wore compression socks and they were lifesavers. Now that I work at an outpatient clinic where I actually have a chance to use like little wheelie stools to work on people,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
have to
yeah,
wear
yeah.
them anymore.
Yeah, I used to work at a hospital too, and 12s are vicious. Like,
Yeah.
uh, and when at work, I wear Doc Martens with insoles in them, so the shoes are super supportive, and we have rubber mats, which
Yes. Good.
okay, some people think that they're bullshit. I believe in
They
them.
are not. They
They're
are not, in
very
fact,
heavy
bullshit.
too. Like they're gross and they're
Yeah,
annoying to clean, but my God, they make a difference.
they do.
And the $15 insoles from Walmart make a huge difference too. Like,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
Yay.
You could definitely wear the compression socks.
Perfect. Do you think I should go for all the way up to the knee, or do you think I should get like some short ones that specifically focus around my ankles or
Up to the knee is definitely more useful.
knee? Okay, got it.
Yep.
Plus, they're really stylish and
They
like
are. You can
just keep
also get like
right.
all the ones that have like cool patterns and like
Yeah,
superhero logos on them.
Yeah, I just found the black pair I have at Marshall's, and I wore them the other day with shorts, and everybody said, "Wow, like you look swaggy." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right," and they're
I
functional
do. I do,
because
in
yeah.
fact, look pretty
And I
swaggy.
get to the gym and my shins don't hurt because there are nights where after a night of work, if I don't wear the socks
Yeah.
and I go to the gym, I stretch and I get on the treadmill, immediately there's like, or not immediately, within the first 3-4 minutes, like suddenly there's kind of just a sensitivity
Yeah.
in the shin, and I'm like, okay, then so when that's happened, I've done inclined walking instead.
Okay.
So I still get
That's
my
totally
cardio,
fine.
but
I
like,
really like that you adapt and listen to your body based on what your body's asking of you.
thank you.
That is a really important degree of awareness that anybody in general, but especially anybody who wants to compete in gaming, should have.
Hmm.
Because like that awareness lets you then change things up as you need to change things up, and not just say, "Well, this is how I've always done it, so I have to do it this."
Right. Now, if I could do this in game, that would be amazing.
You'll get there.
We'll
It
get
will
there, though.
become more
Yeah.
universal.
I've been in and out of the gym since I was 16. So, like, this
Yeah.
is all just stuff that I've honed over the years. And this is the most consistent I've been in shape and
Awesome.
exercising. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the other thing too.
24-hour
Like,
gym makes a difference.
I'm
Seriously.
sure there's there's going to be somebody out there who tells you that, oh, you're going only 3 times a week. You know, that's you should be doing more than 3 times a
Everyone
week.
has their little advice. Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
here's the thing too, the the absolute perfect optimal program that you do like twice and are miserable about is nowhere near as good as the perfectly adequate program that you do consistently and don't stop doing.
And when you're excited about it, like,
Yeah, I
there's a
would much rather
seated,
have somebody go 3 times a week and be good with, yeah, I like doing this. This makes me happy. I can absolutely keep doing this ad infinitum.
yeah, exactly.
That's what
Like
you want.
the leg extension, like one of the seated leg extensions is my absolute favorite because like when I sit down to do it after I've done squats, like, and I could just see my
You can see your
quads.
quads.
I see my
Yes.
quads flex in the mirror and I'm like, God damn it, I'm so fucking proud of myself.
Yep.
Like I just see that shit and I'm like, oh,
That's
okay,
one of
what
those
what are
thick
you gonna
thighs save
work?
lives moment right there.
I love the gym
Yep.
so much. It's
I'm with you.
I'm never happier than I am when I'm like in shape and actively taking care of myself and a better diet too. I used to eat a lot of junk and a lot of fast food, and as of 2 years ago, like I cut out Red Bull. I'll drink a shot of Red Bull at work sometimes if I like need
Right.
that extra
Yep.
boost. But I mainly drink like C4 or those like Bang, sometimes Rain or the Rockstar like 0 calorie stuff.
Okay.
But I always balance it with water.
Ooh,
What do you think of those?
did you see our hydration tier list?
No. There's a
I'm gonna
hydration
send you our
in it.
hydration tier list, which Elliot's gonna be super excited about. Elliot's
God.
our intern. He's a PT student working on his clinical rotations right now, so he's gonna be a full blown PT real soon. But
So
he is the king of our tier lists. He's really excited about making them. So we've got this
where's
whole
coconut water? Coconut water S
it is
plus.
on the list. There is also we're gonna make a performance tier list as well. So like the things that hydrate you best don't necessarily boost performance, and the things that boost your performance aren't necessarily the most hydrating. Well, if you think about it, what kind of things boost performance? Things like caffeine, things like
Yeah,
L-theanine. You
and
don't want to be taking in
they
massive amounts
dehydrate
of those
you.
all the time every day. The best thing for hydration is going to be water or water with electrolytes, a la coconut water. Um,
Coconut water. I'm a fiend.
yes.
If it
So let
wasn't
me
so
send you. I'm going to
expensive.
send you this on Discord. All right.
Oh my God, you're the best.
All right.
You're
I
speaking
will
of my
chat with you next week at
yes.
8:30 Eastern time for both of us,
Hmm. I look
and
forward
send me your
to it.
questions between now and then. All right.
What do you prefer, Twitter DM or Discord?
I tend to respond more in Discord.
Cool. So if I have any questions, I'll hit you up
Go
there.
for it on Discord. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All
Great
right.
to meet
Talk
you.
to you
I'm so
soon.
excited. Bye bye.
Awesome.